Hello everyone, Namaste. Welcome to another exciting episode of RightCast. I'm your host Icha Pandey. Joining us today is really special guest. She is Miss Nisha Dharmwal, Senior Manager of Regional Recruitment at Algoma University. Today we'll be discussing about why is Canada the top destination to study and about the Algoma University unique opportunities. Welcome to RightCast, ma'am.
Hi, very good afternoon and namaste to everyone.
So I would like to initiate our conversation asking you about the Algoma University. Can you give us an overview about the Algoma University and what makes it the top choice for the international students?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much to the entire team and thanks to you for inviting me on podcast today because it's very important to describe what's Canada bringing for international students. And most important thing, why Nepali students are choosing to go Algoma University, what makes a huge difference. So number one, if I talk about the background, Algoma is a public government-funded institute, one of the oldest university in Ontario. What makes a huge difference because as a public university, we're always making sure how we can support our international students and students who are coming from Nepal. For us, quality is always matters, right? And another benefit because the amount of programs we have, it helps a lot international student and it's a diverse university, right? Talking about for undergrad degree courses, Algoma has more than 30 plus bachelor's degree courses. We have 3 years and 4 year programs. We recently additionally added our master's in computer science. We do have many postgrad courses. So one thing is very important about when it's come to the program, students have a right pick up to go any courses, no matter what background are they coming from. So if they're passionate about like business, computer science, like a bio program, they have all the available options in our campuses. And what makes a huge difference because our campus location, it's very diverse. We are based in Ontario and we have 2 unique campuses location. Like I said, Nepal is all about like a beautiful nature, the mountain, Lake Superior, and everything. And that's something relates to our Season-2 campus because Season-2 is beautiful. And I personally love Season-2 campus because I'm a nature lover, that's for sure. We have another campus in Toronto, which is in Brampton downtown location. We have a really, really unique location in downtown. And that makes us very attractive when it's come to international student. And entire Brampton city, Algoma is the only as a public university. So there are a lot of opportunity, when it's come to like students, faculty ratio, student like jobs opportunity, and student housing facility. Because I understand a lot of students are talking about housing problem, job issues in Canada. But we always make sure if students are coming, we have all the full support for those students.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really impressive. I'm really curious, which course are more popular among the students from this reason?
Yeah, that's a really good question because Nepal is one of my favorite country, and from last 2 years we have seen the massive growth from Nepal. They're always looking for some technical courses, IT programs, which is help them to landing a really good job in Canada. So if I talk about, we have a really good program in Faculty of Computer Science and Technology. So you have both options. Either you can take 3 years bachelor's or you can go for 4 year bachelor's. So let's take if you're going for 4 year bachelor's degree, right? Because that leads to your master's in computer science because we recently launched a new edition program, Master's in Computer Science. And I'm extremely, extremely happy because we have already really good students for Master's in Computer Science. So student can pick any program, whether they want to go for games and technology, mobile software program, or like a 3 years bachelor's degree in general. And for life and science, especially like medical students, we have biology, we have environmental science, psychology for arts and science student, and we have recently launched bachelor's in social work. Social work is now very demanding in Canada. So that makes it very unique. We do have a lots of business program, but if you ask me what Nepali students are choose to go at Algoma, they're really looking forward to go for computer science programs.
Okay.
Yeah.
On that note only, I would like to ask you about the post-study work visa. Like some students, they study 1 year master's degree. What about that?
That's a really good question because like I just mentioned, majority of the institute, they have 2 year master's degree, but that makes us very unique because Algoma just launched Masters in Computer Science. So it's a fast track program. You can save another year in money as well. So you can finish your master's within 1 year. But however, if you choose to go for bachelor's or like a postgrad or even master degree, you're absolutely 100% eligible for 3 years of stay back opportunity. So you do not have to go for 2 years. You can finish a master's within 1 year and you're 100% eligible for 3 years work permit too.
So it's 3 years post-study work visa.
200%.
Okay, so it's a rumor only.
Yeah, it's just a rumor, to be honest with you. Like, I understand like students, parents, they are like a bit skeptical about the condition, the policy, what
Yeah.
ISCC has recently changed. But I would encourage to all the students do their research as well, because Canada, of course, it's a full of opportunity. It's a very welcoming country. I travel many times, and I believe Canada has a massive growth for international student. The changes always help, bringing the diversity and quality, and that's something the immigration is working right now. But as an individual university, the amount of programs we have, the scholarship we are running, the program just we have launched, no matter what program are you looking forward to go, you're 100% eligible for work permit. Yeah.
So moving on to the next question, I would like to ask you about the scholarship and financial aid provided by the Algoma University.
You know what? Like, this is my favorite question because like students usually ask me like, what kind of a scholarship do you provide? I mean, we as an institute, we are very fortunate that the amount of scholarship we are offering students, it's just not the dollars we are offering, but it's a huge financial support for our international student. So if you're going for undergrad degree courses, we do have entrance scholarship. No matter what intake are you going, or what program are you going, or what campuses are you looking forward to go, you will get guaranteed scholarship, which start from $500 to $5,000. Example, if the student have a really good GPA in 12th high school, would start from 2.6 and above, so 500, then we have 1,000, then we have 2,500. But that's not the end. If the student have a 3.5 and above GPA with 7 bands in IELTS, Algoma University do offer 5,000 guaranteed every year renewable scholarship. So that's an opportunity. So let's take if the students who are going for a 3 years bachelor's degree or 4 year, that's a continuous like scholarship we have. But if the student keep maintaining their grades like an A+, you will get renewable scholarship, number one. Number two, we have recently launched, due to ISCC changes, students are still looking for Canada, but they're looking for affordable option. So this is a unique option, especially for students who are choose to go for computer science, like 3 years and 4 year, they will get $2,500 every year. So let's say you're going for computer science for 3 years, you will get $7,500 scholarship. And if you're going for 4 year, you will get $10,000 scholarship. So that's an opportunity for students. So I would recommend students who are going for 1 to 25, they will definitely get these scholarship. Plus, if the students are looking forward to go for graduate certificate program in all the 1 year PG courses like business, HRM program, or IT, we have a 3,000 guaranteed scholarship flat, and there is no condition behind. Second, students who are opted to go for HRM plus business, we have a 6,000 guaranteed scholarship. So, there are n number of scholarships we have. I mean, depending on what program or what levels are you going, the duration of the course, you will get 100% scholarship with no conditions. Yeah.
So, but they need to maintain that, marks to
Correct.
get the scholarship
Correct.
each year.
Yeah. So, especially for 12th high school board students or A-level students, but for other programs like computer science, I mentioned in bachelor's or postgrad, these are flat scholarships.
Okay. So moving to the next question, I would like to ask you about the career services and internships programs offered by the university.
Yeah, really good question. So especially for student life, student access, like, career opportunities. Since I've joined Algoma last 5 years, like the employability rate, like 89.9% higher. I mean, that makes a huge difference when it's come to other institute, because we just don't say, but we always make sure once the student completed their degree or the program they have chosen to go, we help students to getting a job in campus. But again, like I said, there are level of jobs, what kind of a jobs are you looking for, and depending on the program you have chosen. But we hire like our international students if they really perform well in their academic, if they have really good scores, good skills, good communication skills, right? So it helps a lot student to getting a job. But we prepare student how to apply for these jobs, because we have a career center, how to apply, how to work on your resume, how to work on your like covering letter, how you prepare for jobs when you're applying for multinational corporates, right? But in bachelor's degree, we do have co-op programs. Co-op always help international students to making your life better. When you're applying for job, these internships will always help, because if you go as a fresher, it's hard to get a job. But if you have certain internships, certain skills, that makes a huge difference to our international students, that you can apply for jobs, whether you're opting for computer science program or any business and biology program. So internship is super, super important, but we do have a guaranteed internship for all the bachelor's degree courses. In postgrad, we doesn't have any internship. However, we offer jobs in campus. Even the part-time job, students have to make sure they can complete one semester. They cannot get within that, but we always make sure if you're looking for off-campus, we always assist our international students over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on that note, I would like to ask you one question. What are the key skills that student could develop to increase their employability rate after graduation?
To be honest with you, first and foremost important thing, the communication is important. The basic English is very, very important. Because if the student is unable to speak proper English, that's makes a huge difference, but it's not really helping student to getting a job also, because when you're going to countries like Canada, it's an English speaking country, so we expect students to have a basic English, they speak English, right? Most important thing, the personality. The personality and the grooming, it's very, very important. Third, the skills. If you're part of any volunteership, any kind of internship, these things also really help, when you're applying for full-time jobs in Canada, because it's just not a fresher, but it makes a huge value when students have a really good experiences too, or maybe you're part of any kind of volunteership, because Algoma provide, like I said, we have a lot of volunteership we do offer part-time job assistance. So these things makes a very, very helpful when you're applying for full-time jobs in Canada. Your English is very important. Your personality check is very important. Your confidence level is very, very important, right? So that's something students need to work right from the beginning and make sure the networking, they have to do a lot of research when they're applying for a job, because market is very competitive.
Right.
But it's very important that students have to do also research by themselves. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about Canada weather. What do you have to say? As everybody says, Canada is too cold, right?
Yeah.
Is it so?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I traveled to Canada many times, and good thing about I've seen all three seasons, all three intakes.
Yeah.
So it helps me in my recruitment because I've seen winter intake, I've seen spring intake, I've seen fall intake too. So now if someone has asked me what intake we should choose, I said, I think you should take any of the intake, because every intake has a pro and cons, like do and stones, right? And the opportunities are always there. It doesn't matter like whether you're going for Jan intake or September. If the student have a good skills, capability, if they are ready to attempt everything, they will get everything. It's just not about intake to intake. So coming back to your question, weather in Canada is not always 12 months.
Yeah.
All three intake, all three season is different.
Yeah.
But Canada is a massive, it's a big, it's all like three oceans, right? But if you go to Southern Ontario, Northern Ontario, Eastern and Western, you'll see the different weather altogether. Especially Northern Ontario, because we have a campus, you'll see the cold. Even in the month of May or June, you'll see the good weather, sometime 13 degree in the morning. But in the afternoon, you'll see like a 25 degree, right? But weather is really nice, it's really pleasant. But not, I would say all 12 months we have a similar weather, right? In winters, you'll see definitely the -10, right? But if someone is coming from Kathmandu who have seen like +30, and you're going all the way -10 degree, your body takes time to adapt everything, right? But when you go for a spring intake, the weather is pretty much same what we have in Kathmandu right now, +30. So it's easy for you to adjust, just go out, chill, have a beautiful lake, you can look around and you can explore like Toronto lifestyle, because Canada is big, Ontario is big province, but every location has a huge difference altogether. And coming back to fall intake, fall is really nice, pretty. You can see a different color altogether. That's a beauty about it. But I would recommend to students choose wisely when you applying in Canada, because every intake, every month is a different. But The fact is, the weather in Canada not always 12 months is same. Like it's not a really harsh, but again, depending on intake to intake, months to months. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That was really informative for the students. So the next question I would like to ask you, what are the major, documents that students need to prepare?
So if you ask me like in terms of admission process, our documentation process is very like streamlined, very easy. It's not really like too much documentation we require depending on program to program. So especially like bachelor's degree courses, we only required your 10th and 12th high school like a transcript and your passport copy plus your English language score. So especially in English language score, we accept IELTS, PT, Duolingo and TOEFL. So depending on, so we always make sure we always been very easy and relaxable in terms of the documentation provider. So it's not something that we're asking 50 documents. So few documents, it's easy for us to review and assess a student application, right? Especially in masters in computer science, also we do not require like GR and GMAT, like because sometimes students stress about too many documentation because according to them, like English language proficiency, it's an end. They're not ready to take too many attempts on West, GR and GMAT because it's not a part of our admissions criteria. So if students who are going for masters, we require all your bachelor's transcript and your degree, your passport copy, your last qualification, whatever you have done. Even you have experience, so you can justify everything. So gap should not be a problem for those students. Plus your English language score. We do not require letter of recommendation. Unlike other institutes, we do not need SOP, right? We do not need any kind of declaration. So because the programs are easy, the documentation easy too. So we always make sure that the process, it's smooth. It's to not be like a too many documentation. So we are easy go. So it's not something we are asking many documents from the students. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what about the gap? Like how many years gap is accepted by Algoma University?
Yeah. Especially for bachelor's degree courses, we accept gap 3 years minimum. Yeah, so as long as student can justify, so should not be a problem. But students who are opting post-grad or master's program, gap we accept maximum. Maximum means there's no limit. But I would say if the student have 5 or 10 years of gap, it is okay, but student have to justify it. So let's take someone who have worked in any companies, right? So the resume has to be updated, plus your experience has to be justifiable. So gap should not bother. It doesn't restrict our admission criteria.
Okay, so gap is not a problem.
Oh, absolutely not. So that makes a student life easier because I know a lot of institutes, they've been very restricted with the conditions like gap. They don't accept maybe 3 or 5 years gap, right? But Algoma is easy. Should not be that problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the things that students need to be aware before going to Canada?
That's a very important question, to be honest with you, because now everyone is talking about Canada. A lot of changes happen. But how the universities following the measure and the process right now due to these current changes. I would always recommend to students, no matter what country are you opting, what university are you opting, right? The most important for every student aspect, the research. The research makes a huge difference when you're applying or when you're going to overseas, because you should know where are you going, where are you landing, what area is it, how far is the distance. Like example, from airport to your main city, main location, the distance has to be there. You need to calculate. Second thing, the area of location, right? Because let's take you going in Toronto downtown. Now everyone is talking about the housing problem, example, right? But Toronto downtown, it's expensive, right? So as a student, we need to make sure we have all the arrangements when it's come to housing and accommodation. Which should be very affordable for students also. So students have to find out the housing facility and accommodation things. If they don't have any arrangement, they should contact to institutes. So institute can help students when they land into Canada. Number 3, when you're applying for any institute, you should know about your orientation process. You should know about the registration process, right? Because make sure you can start contacting the advisory or the faculty people so that you can start building up your relationship, right? And maybe if the students who are coming from Nepal, right, maybe they can start reaching out to the group of people, starting reaching out to local students also. So at least it makes a huge difference, because if you're landing as a fresh student, you do not know about the country, you do not about the destination and city, but there are a lot of Nepali students we have, right? So I would recommend if the students who are coming from Right Path, right? They can start reaching out to our old student, the ex-student. So it's easy for students also. You can start have a better communication, and they can start preparing themselves also. And another thing, especially if you're talking about the job aspect, because that's a very frequent question asked by a student, like what kind of a job. So one thing I always say, that if you do not have any experience, if you never work in your home country too, so it takes a little while to getting the job in any new country, because fourth most important thing, you need to adapt the culture. You need to adapt the country first. You need to understand the whole location, the area, the people over there, and start connecting, with the people to people. It is important to attend such kind of events. Networking is very important, and that makes a huge value addition for international student, because Canada is fast. You just need to connect with people. Make sure you are just following the process is very, very important. So I think these things are very important as an international student. But as an individual school, as a university, we always have a support system, right? We have a student success department, we have a career center, the day you're landing. So make sure you can have right people to connect for orientation, because in orientation, we explain everything.
Yeah.
We have a registration team too, and you can start. Our faculty, our super advisor, our professor, they are very nice. They are very, very welcoming. And Canada is all about welcoming. Canada is very friendly. So that's what I really like about it. So that's an important message for all the international students.
So does university provide the accommodation facilities?
Yeah, 100%. So like I said, Algoma has two vibrant campuses. We are based in Ontario. Our main campus, it's in Northern Ontario. You'll see they're really cold over there, no matter whether you go for winter or spring, but the weather is really different, but you're liking the weather for sure. We do have an on-campus housing facility. So depending on if you need dorms, you need a residence. So we have a different cost altogether. So we always make sure if students need any assistance, they can definitely get housing facility in our Season-2 campus. Brampton do not have at the moment, but we are planning hopefully in the next couple of years. But we have a Canada Homestay Network connections where we provide assistance to our international students if they're looking for housing facility in downtown area. Yeah.
I really like the way you told that about research and everything. Many students don't do that research, they just go to consultancy, they just believe,
Correct,
they
yeah.
don't do research where they are going to stay, what they are going to study, and they just think that we get money outside going abroad, right? So that was really informative to the students. Hope they research and go any place they go outside.
And they pick right pathway. Dude.
Definitely. We are here to help them.
Yeah.
And the last question, as we are at the end of the discussion, before wrapping up, I would like to ask you the last question. Any one piece of advice you would like to give to any students aspiring to go to study abroad?
Last but not the least, I would always say, for us, international students are very, very important, right? And we always make sure if someone is coming from different country or students who are coming from Nepal, they should explore the country. The opportunities are absolutely there. And we always make sure the support systems are there for students. It's just a matter, the research is very, very important. Do not just come with half of the research, right? I know the consultants, the team is here to support students, right? But what is important for you, because facts and figures, you need to dig down. You need to do a lot of research, because the challenges are there for sure, but we as a university, we always make sure we always helping students, for entire year, right? So research is very important for every international students, right? There are huge jobs opportunity, and most important thing, Canada always give you opportunity to give you permanent residency. Like Canada is one of the countries that can give you faster PR opportunity, whether you're opting for 3 years and 4 year bachelor's degree program, or you're 100% allowed to work part-time and full-time, right? It's just a matter how capable enough are you? So I think, number one, it's a very welcoming country. Country is very, very friendly. The quality is there. Affordability is there for sure. It's just a matter if the student can do right research right from the beginning, they will not find any trouble. They will not find any difficulty. That's for sure, because I've seen those students. They have done well, thorough research, and they are absolutely doing good in Canada, and they are happy students.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us.
No problem.
Okay. It was really insightful conversation. I hope our audience will love to listen
Of
to
course,
it.
of course. Thank you so much, and it was pleasure being here today at Right Pathway Education Consultant Office. I hope this video, this information go viral and help a lot of international and Nepalese students. Thank you. Bye bye. Namaste.